This is a video to show how to automate barcode entry on a screen. So the first thing we do is we go ahead and do our data entry, our DataEdit inbox, and it's just a standard box and with a QWERTY keypad and barcode in. So you set up the variable, and that's all there is pretty much to that part. But we're going to add something else to make it able to kick on remotely. So the one tool that you can access remotely from the PLC is the alarms. So we're going to set up an alarm that the PLC can trigger. And so we go over to alarms and we go to groups, and you right click and you choose add, it'll give you a setup here. So I just named it trigger 1. You can name it anything and it will automatically put it in there. And then your expression is the tag that you want it to trigger. So you put the tag that you want to trigger, and then the key on that is you don't want to have a pop-up and you don't want to have to acknowledge it. So you just want it to happen every time, but you don't want to see anything. So uncheck those two boxes right there. So that's pretty much the setup. Here, well, no, I'm sorry, it's not quite. And then on this same alarm, we're going to set up some events and actions. So in events and actions for this alarm, we'll go over here and we choose when it's raised. So you got 3 options there: raised, acknowledged, or cleared. So when it's raised, we're going to set input focus, and you can see that's one of the options. Set input focus for page 0, data edit 0. So in this case, that's that data edit box. So this allows remote focus. This will allow the focus to be put on that remotely from a bit from the PLC. So now let's go set up the PLC side. Okay, here's the PLC side, and we need to add a couple tags. And I named one barcode in and one barcode trigger. And so the barcode in is the string that's going to be coming in, and the trigger is what's going to trigger the alarm. So let's look at those tags, and then I just put in some code. So when I do this bit, it's just a trigger, a PLC trigger bit. I do a timer off delay for like 2 or 3 seconds, whatever it is, and then the barcode trigger is going to be tied to the alarm, and then I reset the trigger test, so you don't actually have to turn it off. It's a one shot, and then this will turn it off even if you leave it on. So basically you get a 2-second pulse, a 2-second one shot when you trip this bit. Now let's go back to the screen, the HMI. Whoops. And look at the mapping. And you'll see barcode in is barcode in here. Barcode trigger is bcode trigger here. So the trigger is what we're using the alarm to toggle. So when we toggle it here, it's going to toggle this bit here, which is the alarm, and the alarm is going to trigger that little piece of code that changes the focus to the screen. And so that's basically the setup. And so now let's run a demonstration and watch it. So let's go back to where the PLC is. There's the program. Okay, so we're going to do a simulation, and we'll run this with Sim NA. Okay. So now when I trip this bit here, you should automatically be ready for data entry over here. So let's also bring up the watch window. Notice there's no data in the barcode in. Boom. You saw that come up. So now at this point you would scan the barcode, and it would put it in, and it would put data in there. and then it would automatically do the carriage return. So the barcode would put the carriage return, and you can see it comes back into the PLC. So in this way, you won't have to ever touch the screen to do the data. It still does the pop-up for the QWERTY keyboard, but you won't have to actually touch the screen to trigger it. You can trigger it from the PLC, which should be doable with the process and knowing when things are happening in the PLC. And this is Mike Felkins, and this is a demo for remote control for the data input in an NA touchscreen, which should be useful for specifically barcode or keyboard wedge type applications. Thank you.